Hello, welcome back to my channel, or hello for the first time. How you doing? I don't know how you got here if you're new, but since you're here you may as well stay. So today we're going to make something Scottish, and I get requested Scottish stuff all the time. People ask me to make a lot of Scottish things, mostly haggis, but just to put it out there, I can't make haggis. Haggis is like a butcher's thing. I don't have the equipment, nor do I have the ingredients, nor do I want to source the ingredients. There's a lot of lungs, a lot of heart, a lot of intestines, all that kind of stuff. I don't have the will to make haggis. I will make vegetarian haggis if you want to see that. It's quite tasty, I do enjoy. But today is not a haggis day. No. Today's a different kind of Scottish day. Today is a Buckfast day. Now, I know what you're thinking if you're not Scottish. What is this and how is it Scottish? So this wine isn't actually made in Scotland, it's made in England. It's made in Devon somewhere, I'm sure. Apparently the story is like 1897 or something. A French monk came over to Devon and brought with him the recipe of tonic wine, and then the monks from that point made tonic wine. It's Buckfast Tonic wine because I think it's like Buckfast Abbey or something. Don't know. I'll link the Buckfast website in the description if you want to read up about Buckfast wine. It has a history, but the history that Scots have with Buckfast wine is completely different from that. Buckfast in Scotland is known to, for lack of a better word, it's referred to as wreck the hoose juice, which basically means it makes you an angry person. What was referred to as Neds would drink them in Scotland. It's your stereotypical kind of idea with your Burberry hat, your socks tucked into your trackies, you bought a Buckfast and you go down the main street and start fights. It has a history in Scotland, it's very, very popular in Scotland, and although that stereotypical kind of idea of Ned's drinking it is there, it's actually enjoyed by quite a lot of different kinds of people, and a lot of my friends actually enjoy it as well as my husband. He was partial to a bottle of this in his day. It is a really, really thick wine. It's called a tonic wine because of medicinal purposes. Back when my papa was a wee boy, so you're talking like a long time ago, my great granny would send my papa to the pharmacy for tonic wine, and the pharmacy would give it as a sort of cold remedy. You wouldn't get a bottle this size, you would get like a small measure, but yeah, it apparently used to have like medicinal purposes for colds and stuff. You heat it up and drink it. It is alcohol, it's 15%. And although that isn't a great amount, it's just like an average bottle of wine, it's very different from wine. It's almost like a syrup. It's very, very thick. It has a really like distinct taste and flavour and smell. It's mad. If you see this anywhere, I recommend that you get a bottle. It's chock full of caffeine. I think that's why people tend to get a bit kind of excited when they drink it. A lot of the crime statistics in Glasgow and surrounding areas were closely associated with the consumption of Buckfast wine. It was in the news and stuff for a while as well that people were trying to get it banned, or places were trying to stop selling it because it would encourage violence and encourage delinquent behaviour. Right now, during this pandemic and COVID-19, it's very difficult to get a bottle of Buckfast. They tend to average between £6 and £7. This bottle cost me £12 from a shop that would only sell one bottle per person per day until the stock sold out. I've actually seen people online doing like lotteries for it, so you choose like a number between 1 and 50 and you could win a case, and people are actually making profit out of it and making competitions to win Buckfast because people in Scotland really want it. So I happen to have a bottle during the pandemic, and if you are a fan of Buckfast and you're going to watch me make these cakes and get angry, I'm really sorry, but here we are. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting about Buckfast. If you want to learn more about it, it'll be in the description below, as I said. But today we're going to use this Buckfast tonic wine and we're going to make chocolate brownies. Now, there is a recipe on the Buckfast website. There's a few recipes in fact. I'm going to closely follow the recipe that they have on their website, but I'm also going to use my own, which is I'm going to mix my eggs thoroughly until they become almost like a pancake batter consistency, and then we'll make our brownies that way. I find that that creates a much thicker, gooier brownie. I have made normal chocolate brownies in the past. If you want to see them, they'll be in the eye somewhere, one of these corners, I don't know which one it is. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to show you how to make Buckfast brownies. Okay, so the first part of this recipe is actually just Buckfast and vanilla, and we have to reduce the Buckfast to about 2 tablespoons worth of liquid. So The Buckfast that you need, I've just washed this jug. You need 300 millilitres of Buckfast. So I'm going to show you quickly by pouring it into this jug how thick it is and the colour of it. So you can see there that it's a kind of weird brown colour. Oh, that smell. Okay, so I've got my 300 millilitres of Buckfast here, so I'm just going to pour that straight in. It then asks for 5 millilitres of vanilla in this recipe. I don't know what that would be. I don't have anything that would measure 5 millilitres. I don't have anything that small. So I'm actually just going to sploosh some in. I would say that's probably about a tablespoon worth of vanilla that I've just put in there. But if you have the ability to measure 5 millilitres, then please do that. So all we're going to do now is bring this to the boil. Once it boils, you're going to reduce the heat and put it down to a simmer until it's about 2 tablespoons worth of liquid. Okay, so while my Buckfast is reducing, I'll show you the rest of the ingredients you're going to need. So you're going to need 300 grams of dark chocolate. So I've just went ahead and got Bourneville chocolate, and I've just got it in buttons form because it's easier to melt. Alongside that, you're also going to need 50 grams of chocolate buttons, so that's why I got that much. So I have 4 bags of 110 grams here. So all in all, basically 350 grams of dark chocolate. 250 grams of butter, 3 medium eggs, 180 grams of dark soft brown sugar, 100 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then you're going to need some extra butter for greasing your tin and a little bit of salt. So for now what I'm going to do is I am going to put my eggs and my sugar together and get them whisking to try and get that lovely big thick pancake batter mix consistency that I was talking about. So it asks for 3 medium eggs, so we'll pop them in. And then to that you're going to have to add your dark sugar, so 180 grams. I'm going to give this a wee mix and then I'm going to put it in the stand mixer on high until it becomes light and fluffy, and I'll show you what that looks like once it's done. Okay, so I have my Buckfast reduction. You can see here now that it's really syrupy. It's almost like a treacle now, and that's what you're looking to get. That will be roughly about 2 tablespoons. It's not going to be a lot of liquid. Next, what we have to do is we have to take our butter and we have to take our chocolate and melt them together. It's 300 grams of dark chocolate, so there's my first bag. Okay, so we're going to melt these into a liquid, and we also have our Buckfast reduction, and we also have this, which is my eggs and my brown sugar. So what we're going to do while we're melting this chocolate, we're going to put this back on to be whisked, but we're going to pour this reduction in here just now, and we're going to whisk them together. I'm going to scrape that straight in there. I do think this is roughly about 2 tablespoons. So that's about as much as I'm going to get out of that now. It is very, very, very thick. And obviously it's cool enough that I can touch it and it's not burning me or anything. But it is like a tar at this point. So now that the Buckfast reduction is in here with the sugar and the eggs, we're going to put that back onto whisk until it's fully all mixed together. It's all lovely and nice and they're all best friends. And then we're going to melt this into one big fully chocolate butter liquid. Then we're back. So this is my Buckfast sugar and egg mixture. That's all that's in here. Obviously the vanilla is in the Buckfast as well. So to this I'm going to add the chocolate. Oh, the Buckfast has gone to the bottom. That's not great. That's not ideal. So I think I've managed to get all the Buckfast from the bottom, but that's fine because we're going to put it back on anyway. So take it off, scrape all your Buckfast syrup from the bottom, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to put this back onto the stand mixer and slowly add in my chocolate, and then I'll come back once both of those are fully combined. Everything's a bit of a mess right now, but this is my chocolate mixture straight out the stand mixer. So the reason I've got it here is I'm just going to try and give it a wee mixy-rooney before I transfer it. And also I'm going to pour this out into a different bowl when I incorporate the flour and things. And the reason for that is because I want to see how much Buckfast is stuck to the bottom of this bowl. The Buckfast syrup is quite thick, so it sank straight away, but I did my best to recuperate what I could. But anyway, moving from that, what we'll do is we'll get the other stuff ready. So this is the big bowl we're going to mix everything in, so that can go out the way for now. In the meantime, we're going to measure our flour and our salt, baking powder, all that kind of good stuff. So flour is 100 grams, baking powder is 1 teaspoon. For the salt, you need a pinch of salt, so give that a wee shooby. Smashing. Now salt just adds to the flavour of the chocolate, and it doesn't really do anything, it doesn't make it salty. This will then get sieved into this mixture. So I'm going to pour this in here just so I can get an idea of what's left at the bottom. Looks okay actually, doesn't look like there's any, it looks like I've picked up the majority of it, but I'll show you in a wee second. If you look past all that chocolate in there, the only bit of Buckfast that's left is like this little bit there. So all the rest of that's just chocolate, so that's not bad. Now we're going to plop in our baking powder, our flour and our salt mixture. Now at this point you can probably hear I've got my oven on, so my oven is preheating at 150, so it should be 170 if you've got a normal oven, you've got 150 if you've got a fan oven like myself, gas mark 3, and I'll find out what the Fahrenheit for that is and I will put it in the description below. So I am just folding this. With brownies you basically just mix until you no longer see flour. You don't want to over mix it. You can over mix the eggs so you get them this nice fluffy way like I've done, but do not try and over mix the actual batter. Like I'm happy with that. There's a little bit of flour still showing, but I'm also going to continue to mix because I put my chocolate buttons in. Now the recipe does ask for chocolate buttons, but these chocolate buttons are pretty big, so I think I might bash them a little bit and put them in a little bit bashed. It'll also stop them from sinking to the bottom. So it's 50 grams of chocolate that it wants. I'm going to plonk them in this bag. I'm going to give them a bash, and then I'm just going to fold this in. I wouldn't usually put chocolate buttons in a mixture, but it's asking me to, so I will. The only reason I would ever put chocolate chips or chocolate buttons or anything like that in a recipe like this is because I would think that maybe the brownie might not be very wet inside, so to compensate for that you would have buttons, but this looks like it's going to be nice and chewy and wet inside, so I don't know why I'm adding buttons, but I've done it. So I've got my already prepared tin, already greased, already papered. I've got my lip up the side so that I can get the brownie back out, and we're just going to plonk this straight in. Okay, so this is now done. I'm going to put it in the oven now for 35 minutes and we'll see how it turns out. It doesn't smell like Buckfast, it just kind of smells like chocolate brownie, which I guess it is, so yeah. Right, so this is cool, and Marcus is going to be an absolute champion and try it for us. Wow.
I do like Bucky.
You do like Buckfast, that's true. So we just cut a wee bit off? Yeah, we'll just try a wee bit.
A wee corner?
You get a corner piece, because you do like a corner piece.
That's the best bit.
There you go. Oh wow.
What?
It's not so much the flavour of Buckfast, but there's a flavour in the background.
Aye. Even in the smell, you can smell it.
Yeah. You can smell it, but it doesn't taste bad.
I actually can't describe it. I mean, it's nice, but I actually can't describe the taste.
Yeah, it tastes nice. There's nothing wrong with it.
I can't put my finger on it.
No, it's almost like it makes the brownie richer. There's like a wee hint of fruit. Like
Aye.
It's almost like there's a hint of like raisins or something in it.
Are you struggling to describe it as well?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, like it's good, but I can't describe it.
It does taste kind of raisiny-ish. Like, see if you've eaten hundreds of raisins. Excuse me, phone.
No, I don't know that.
It tastes rich the way a raisin tastes rich, but you don't eat raisins, so you don't know. But it asked me to put 2 tablespoons for the bucket, like the syrup stuff in it. But see, honestly, I could have probably put 4 in that.
Probably, aye.
It smells really nice, like fragranty. Would you prefer this brownie or do you prefer the other brownies I make?
I would say the other brownies, this is still good. It's still good, but I do prefer the other ones. But do you know what else I prefer?
Do you mind?
No.
Do you have a Buckfast story you'd like to tell the audience?
Very many.
Very many.
Very many stories that have came around as a result of Buckfast.
I'm trying to explain that it's...
For example, this bottle, not this exact one, but many like it, have been smashed across my head quite a few times.
That's 10. I tried to explain to everyone at the start of the video what Buckfast was and how it's associated in Scotland.
It is culturally important.
I tried to explain that it's a wreck the hoose juice and what that meant.
Right with hoose juice.
But you like Buckfast, don't you?
The supersonic tonic.
It's chock full of caffeine, isn't it?
Packed with caffeine, packed with sugar, kills brain cells, fills jail cells. I love it. I like the smell of it, but I couldn't drink it to get drunk or anything. Not that I drink anyway, but I just couldn't. It's I'll admit it's not for everybody. See, when we had everybody coming over here for a meet up,
yeah.
We got a bottle and we just passed it around the table, and it was like Marmite. We had everybody. There was people from Canada, Israel, Germany, everybody from everywhere, America, all that, all around the table, and it was just total 50-50. People were either drinking it going, that's really nice, or you were getting people drinking it going like, and like they hated it. It's Marmite, but I love it. I love this stuff.
So thanks very much for trying that for me. I appreciate that. Are you taking the rest of that bottle with you?
Yep.
Right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I would say that was a success. It wasn't terrible. It just tastes like a really, really rich chocolate brownie with like a hint of something in the background. If I was to make this again, I'd probably make it with some nuts through it, or even marshmallows, something to break it up, because it's very thick stodge. There might be something else in there that you could put that would complement the flavours of the Buckfast and then maybe bring it out a little bit more. But it's really, really nice. To be honest, I think you could make this with red wine if you really wanted to. Make like an adult brownie with red wine. It's a possibility, just do the same thing. So anyway, if you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I try to upload every single Thursday. If you would like to support me in any way, shape or form, I also have Patreon, a Subscribe Star and also merch, which you'll find in the description below as well. There'll be links to that, as well as the Buckfast Abbey website, like I mentioned previously. But anyway, for now, I am going to go and I'll see you later. Bye!